guys, Murder Mystery 2 has seen so many updates within the past couple years. Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. Murder Mystery 2 has seen a couple updates in the past couple years, but there's been a lot of updates that have been planned and speculated but never ended up coming out. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you guys might have seen speculation on like a Valentine's update and a New Year's update earlier this year. But unfortunately, those updates have never came out. But very recently, the MM2 weapon designer I don't have a use just stepped forward, and not only did he show off almost every single MM2 default concept weapon that he's made since he's been part of the MM2 team, but he also showed all of the knife skins that he made for all of these canceled updates, like the Valentine's update, New Year's update, and a few more. And even the very first godly concepts ever made for Murder Mystery 2. So why don't we go over to Twitter right now? So as you can see from this tweet right here from I Don't Have a Use, you can see every single default knife concept I made so far for Murder Mystery 2, at least the ones I could find. And in this image, you can see weapon skins that date all the way back to like 2020, right? All the way at the bottom, you can see stuff like the ice cracker knife from Christmas 2020. I think there's like some Halloween items here from 2020 as well. But you can see a lot of weapons that were meant to come into the game so long ago but never ended up coming out. Like this blue wrapper knife right here. I think this ornament knife never came out. A noob knife right here. That would have been kind of cool. This knife right here is kind of trash. I don't know why they added this, but there are just so many weapon skins here. If I wanted to talk about every single one, would be here for at least half an hour. But as you can see, there's just like so many different weapons here. And at the top, we can see stuff from the newest summer update that was meant to come out, which I did talk about in a very recent video going over all of the canceled concept weapons for the summer update, so go watch that. But if you guys have a good eye, you might have seen some concept weapons for updates that never ended up coming out. And what's interesting is that a lot of these weapon skins did actually get leaked a while ago, but you know, because the update was canceled, they didn't come out. Like for example, last year's Valentine's update. For those who don't know, back in 2024, we were supposed to get a Valentine's update, but we never actually saw one for some reason. Like there's a few weapon skins right here. Some of these did end up getting leaked. Not all of them did though. Like for example, this heart knife right here didn't get leaked. This rose knife, this chocolate knife, some of these didn't actually get leaked. So maybe these could have come out as well in the Valentine's update. There's probably some godly concept as well. Like for example, the ruby gun, which was meant to come out for the Valentine's update, ended up coming out for the Christmas update instead as the Borealis gun, but it was meant to be for Valentine's Day. But obviously we already knew that this update was planned but didn't end up coming out since these did end up getting leaked to us. But if you scroll down a little bit, you can see some weapons that were planned for a 10-year anniversary update for Murder Mystery 2. For those that don't know, January 18th, 2014 is when Murder Mystery 1 was made for Roblox. So last year was Murder Mystery 2's 10-year anniversary, and there was actually going to be an update planned. I Don't Have a Use posted this thumbnail right here, and in the background you can see like a golden 10-year knife, but a lot of people were speculating that this might be something for a 10-year anniversary update. Some people were unsure on if this meant there was going to be an update coming, or if that was just something quick that I Don't Have a Use made for the thumbnail. But this image kind of confirmed that there was going to be something planned for the update. Like you can see stuff like this confetti knife, this cupcake knife, this birthday cake knife, whatever this was meant. I guess frosting knife maybe. 10-year balloons knife, the golden knife that was in the background of the thumbnail. I like this one a lot. It's a phaser knife, which is a reference to the phaser gun back in Murder Mystery 1, so it's kind of like a reference to old MM1. A Nick Scythe knife, a fireworks knife, and I think that's it. Maybe this developer knife could have also been for the 10-year update, maybe, I don't know. But it's interesting to see that like a whole update was planned for the 10-year anniversary, since not a whole lot of people knew what was even going on with the 10-year anniversary. If we were gonna get like a full update, or like a code knife or something, or if they were gonna do anything at all, which they ended up doing nothing at all. But it's interesting that there was at least gonna be like a full update planned, because we've never really seen like an anniversary or even like a New Year's update before in MM2. Which, speaking of New Year's, there was going to be a New Year's update planned for this year that I did end up talking about in a video, but obviously that update got canceled too. You can see right up here, there were a couple weapons that were made for the New Year's update. And when I say a couple, I mean literally just two. There was a 2025 knife right here, as well as a fireworks knife. So they either scrapped the idea for like a 2025 update real quick, so I Don't Have a Use didn't have much time to make a lot of concepts, or the New Year's update was going to be like a genuinely small update. Maybe all we were going to get was like 2 code knives or something. I don't know. Obviously the MM2 team doesn't really reveal a whole lot to us, so all we can really do is speculate on what the MM2 team could have been cooking up for that. But we could even see stuff that was planned for this year's Valentine's update. Obviously we were supposed to get a Valentine's update this year, as I've talked about in videos in the past. 4 knife skins were made for that update. As you can see, there was like this heart knife, this flower knife, this like anime woman eyes knife, which would have been interesting interesting to see in MM2, that's for sure. As well as this pink bandages knife. There wasn't really a whole lot of knives made. Keep in mind, this tweet only shows off the default knife concept. So there are a lot of gun concepts that were made for a lot of these updates. There are even some gun leaks for the Valentine's 2024 update. So there are a lot more concepts that exist for these MM2 updates that are not shown off here, but maybe if I don't have you shows off all the guns, I might talk about that in a future video. So like, even though there were just 4 knives here, and for the 2025 update, there were just 2 knives, there could have been more that was planned and more that was made that we just can't see. But guys, that was not all the weapon concepts that was shown off the other day, because in a different tweet, I don't have a you showed off some of the very first godly concepts that he made for Murder Mystery 2. This tweet right here says the very first set of concepts I made for Murder Mystery 2 submitted June 20th of 2018. I feel like this is very interesting because I don't have a use didn't like get his first weapons into the game until 2019. His very first weapons were like the default weapon skins for the season 1 update, like the mystery box 1 skins, for example. These are like the very first items I don't have a use made for Murder Mystery 2. So it's interesting to see that he's been making weapon designs for Nicholas like a year before he ever got an item into the game. Obviously, these are back in 2018, which was how many years ago? 7? This was 7 years ago. So obviously, I don't have a use that's improved a lot since these weapons were made, but, and these are of course just concepts, because I don't have a use, was just like showing Nicholas like what he can do for Murder Mystery 2 if he decided to get hired. The way this tweet was worded sounds like I don't have a use wasn't on the team yet, but he was just kind of like showing Nicholas like, yo, these are the type of stuff I can make, so you should consider hiring me. So I don't know if these were ever planned for Murder Mystery 2 or if these were like ever considered to be part of the game, but you can see like this steel knife right here, this red knife, this blue knife, this green knife, as well as this like starry blue yellow knife. All kind of mediocre weapon skins, but you know, this was 7 years ago before he was even on the team, so I understand that. It is cool to see how far I don't have uses came on the MM2 team, because these were like the first items that he was making, but now these are the type of items that I don't have a use in making now. It's really cool to see how far I don't have uses come since he was originally considered for the MM2 team. But guys, please let me know your guys' whole thoughts about all of these canceled weapon skins that were made. What was your favorite item that I don't have a use showed off, and do you guys think that any of these weapons should come into Murder Mystery 2 in the future? Like maybe if we get like a Valentine's 2026 update, could we potentially get the anime eyes woman knife in the game? I mean, personally, I'd much rather see a knife like this Cupid wings knife, but you know, to each their own. But I think usually when an MM2 item gets canceled, we don't see that exact version come into the game at a future date, but maybe we could see like updated versions of some of these items, like the angel wings knife. Maybe we could see like a revamped version of that knife coming in like a future update or a future Valentine's update or whatever. We'll just have to see what happens. Yeah guys, that's about it to this video, so I'm gonna end it off here. So until next time, goodbye.